Hey everyone. So first of all, thank you for the invite, Pocket Gamers, and putting together a fantastic event. My name is Oren Todoros. I'm the mobile PR specialist at Plarium. Plarium is ranked one of the largest hardcore game developers on Facebook. I don't know how many of you guys have heard of our games, but we do have about 5 games today throughout the social web. We've generated about 90 million users worldwide. And I'm here to tell you today a little bit about some of the trends that Plarium has noticed about the mobile gaming industry. So it's basically we're going to go into 5 hot trends that are part of social gaming. These are the trends that we've noticed or identified as being significant, at least significant enough to go on this presentation. So without wasting too much time, we're going to jump into the first one. One of the most interesting trends that we've noticed recently is the mashup of different gaming genres. So we're starting to see this now a lot with games that mix RPG-style games with card collecting elements or hardcore elements within the game mixed with some casual gameplay. So this is one of the latest trends that Plarium has identified. Now, just to say a little bit about how we came to these conclusions, we have a pretty significant research team. So we were trying to filter down some of the most interesting trends that you guys can take away at the end of this event. So the first thing that I wanted to mention is the game genre mashups. One of the games that has done this pretty well is the Collectibles, which is a fantastic action-oriented game. With a card collecting element within the game. So you're progressing through the game, shooting up the bad guys, and as you do, you're collecting cards. That's just an extra little feature that makes the game a little bit more engaging and entertaining. The second thing is special events. So it's great to have a fun game and to get people engaged in it, but if they lose interest or the game isn't challenging enough, you might be losing a lot of potential with your game. And I think that Flappy Birds was a great example of this, where the game was incredibly challenging. The graphics weren't, nothing to write home about, but the game was very challenging, and that's what set it apart. So the one thing that you guys should keep in mind is players do not like to feel unchallenged. A few ways that you can do this is by creating tournaments. So tournaments is a great example of how to keep your players engaged and challenged. Periodic tournaments, time pressures, daily rewards. These are all fantastic elements that you can include in your game to keep them coming back, keep them challenged. And it works for our games. They're MMO-style games, free to play. So we keep enticing players with new challenges on you can say a monthly basis. This is one of the ways that we are doing this currently with one of our titles, Total Domination Reborn. It's an iOS title. And we invite them to come back for very periodic challenges. They're time challenges for about a day or two. And once they complete these challenges, the players are invited to choose one of the rewards for the challenges. Push notifications. This has always been one of my favorite marketing tactics to get players to keep coming back. How many of you guys, just a show of hands, are actually using push notifications within your games today? All right, half of the room. Cool. The other half should start using them. So push notifications is great not just to bring players into your game if you have a portfolio of games, but it's also a great way to keep them coming back. So if you have, all sorts of the challenges that we talked about earlier, events, you should definitely be inviting them. Now, this is it's not really a new trend. I mean, push notifications have been used for a while. But the thing that makes it interesting today is that I think developers are definitely getting smarter about how they use push notifications. They're not just pushing out the messages, but they're using it as they did with email a little while ago. Now they're tracking how many people actually open the push notifications, so there's a lot of analytics involved. So how many people opened the push notifications, how many people actually clicked on the messaging. They're doing a lot of A/B testing. Everything that went into the web a few years back and email a little bit after that is now happening with push notifications on games and on mobile games specifically. Again, this is how we're using push notifications or messaging within our games to entice players to keep coming back. We actually have a messaging system within our games where we invite them to look at the special events that we talked about earlier or special offers that we're offering them, or maybe it's even a cross-promotion between our other lineup of games. So the messaging system is something that we are using a lot, and we're definitely seeing that happen throughout the game industry. Hard currency versus soft currency. So, when games started rolling out specifically on mobile, and up until now, developers invited players to invest into a bag of coins and to use those coins any way they choose. Hard currency is sort of picking up steam, and developers are now offering their players the option to purchase something specifically, like one specific item, or progress through a level that was too difficult for them for a one-time purchase. So this hard currency is definitely something that we're seeing as a major shift. And it's interesting to see how players are actually responsive to it. So players are, you would expect them to not want to invest, a one-time purchase just to progress through a level, but it seems to be a trend that's really working. PR reach. So this goes back into what the folks here were talking about earlier. It's definitely interesting and important to get in touch with PR and media. But it's very difficult when you're starting off and your game is unknown, and you think you have a great game. No one's ever heard of you before. So how do you get that traction? How do you get people to actually hear about you? Well, sure, we all know that online media and social media and creating a presence for yourself throughout the social web is extremely important, and everybody should be doing that. But it's also interesting to see, as one of the trends that we've been noticing, is that it seems like things are going a little bit backwards now, or they're going back to the roots of PR, where a lot of guerrilla tactics are being used. So whether it's business cards, stickers, brochures, billboards, these things are becoming more visible. I know that when I was starting off about 4 or 5 years ago in the mobile industry, nobody was really interested in traditional PR media. I mean, they were all looking ahead and how can we build a presence for ourselves online. Now, okay, we've done all that. We have our presence on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on Twitter, on YouTube. We're all there. What else can we do? The only logical step is to take a step back and to start using some of the more traditional media. So if you think that I'm just making this stuff up, here's a few examples. Clash of Clans and Candy Crush both have a TV spot commercials. I don't know if you guys have seen them, but they're available on YouTube. Kabam actually purchased the name of a field, so now there's Kabam Field in California, which is fantastic because every time there's a sporting event, there is now, it's mentioned as Kabam Field, which is great exposure for them. I don't think anybody in this room can actually afford to purchase a baseball field, but when you get there, use that to your advantage. And Puzzles and Dragons also has a TV spot. So these are all traditional media tactics that seem to be coming back just to increase the reach of games that are already extremely popular. So 5 quick takeaways: experiment with game genres. Don't be stuck on one genre. Try and see how you can mix some of the more interesting elements from different games. Entice players to come back with special events. All right, don't expect them just to come back because they like your game. You might have to nudge them a little bit, get them to come back, give them something to look forward to. Push notifications, use them wisely, but don't overuse them. I've seen companies crash because they've really overused them, where players just deleted their app without prejudice because they wouldn't stop spamming them with special offers or reasons to come back to the game. So push notifications, they're very, very important, but beware. Hard currency works if you're not currently trying it in your games and you're just offering 1 or 2 purchase options. Experiment with other purchase options within your games. You might be surprised by the results that you're going to be seeing. PR increases social and marketing reach. Well, that one speaks for itself. Even if you're on a very limited budget, definitely use any online reach that you can generate, but also events such as this, talking to people face to face, some of the less expensive stuff, whether it's stickers or brochures, posters, anything that you can actually physically put in the hands of somebody that they can take away with. That's something that definitely should be used. And that's it for me. Thank you very much. If you guys have any questions, I'll be happy to talk to any of you guys later.